Hello friends. So in this video we will see a case of a foreign body aspiration in a child of a metallic foreign body and how we removed it using a magnet optical forceps. A similar case was presented in one of the conferences and was appreciated by all. There was a lot of queries upon how we created that optical forceps with a magnetic tip, and at the end of the video we will also give a brief video upon how we prepared that particular optical forceps for use in the case. A 9-year-old boy presented with the history of aspiration of a foreign body, which was a screw 4 days back, and the child also had one episode of hemoptysis. When the child presented to us, he was clinically stable with no respiratory distress. So this is the preoperative chest radiograph in which we can see that there is a metallic foreign body, that is a screw, in the right lower lobe of the chest. So this is the magnetic forceps that we used. So it is basically a broken peanut forceps in which we attached a very tiny magnet at the tip, and we will talk in detail about how we created this magnetic forceps at the end of the video. So the child was taken up for rigid bronchoscopy. So we have inserted a bronchoscope into the trachea. It was done, we have various ways of inserting the rigid bronchoscope. So this was done by our resident who preferred direct intubation while doing a direct laryngoscopy. So here we are in the right bronchus, lower bronchus, and we can see that there is some amount of granulation tissue and narrowing, and which was very fragile, and it bled so much on just touching it. Although the history was 4 days, but it appeared as if it had been longer because of the amount of the tissue, granulation tissue and bleeding that we found. So we managed it with a suction catheter by aspirating till we were able to see the opening properly. So once we were able to see the opening properly, we advanced the bronchoscope and we could just get a glimpse of this blackish tissue. And you will realize that it will be difficult to catch optical forceps with the vision, because the vision is not really good at this point. So we inserted a magnet forceps, although the vision was again compromised, but we just pushed it to the point that we had near the bronchial opening and just withdrew it. And on doing a checkscopy again after some suction, we were able to now identify the foreign body, which was now out of the segmental bronchus. And here we can see this foreign body attached to the metal forceps in this form of this blackish object, and this was then withdrawn. A checkscopy was done. So this is done by me. I usually prefer to put the scope directly after looking at the camera, that is indirect intubation. And we are in the trachea right now. So we're going to the right side. We could see that there is some clot there, which was sucked off by putting a suction catheter and doing a irrigation. So it is easy to hold the foreign body inside the trachea, but while crossing the glottis or by taking the curvature so as to come out the oral cavity, sometimes the foreign body slips. And when it slips, it goes to the most dependent area, that is nasopharynx. And it is very difficult to see this area and retrieve the foreign body from this area. So in our case also, after we closed the glottis, we noticed that we had lost the foreign body in the pharynx. And to confirm the same, we got a X-ray done, and we can see the foreign body right there in the nasopharynx. So as I mentioned, it is a difficult area to assess. So again, the magnetic foreign body came to our rescue, and as soon as we inserted into the oropharynx, the screw came and it attached to the tip of the magnet, and we were able to take it out very easily. So this is a video by our technical officer, Mr. Satyaprakash, as to how we made the magnetic optical foreign body forceps, a makeshift forceps that we used. So for this we require a suture, we require a small magnet, and we require a optical foreign body forceps. So we had two foreign body forceps. This is a peanut forceps by Karl Stoss, which was broken. You can see one jaw is missing. And similarly, we had one alligator forceps, again with one jaw broken. And we can see the small magnet here. So we take some suture, and this is a silk suture, and we make few loops around the magnet. And after making these tight loops, we secure it with a knot. So after couple and knot, with the silk thread, the magnet is now ready for being mounted on the optical forceps. So after that, we usually like to take a peanut forceps. So in peanut forceps, in the jaw there is a hole, and once the suture passes through that hole, the magnet is secure much more, and we are much more confident that we will not lose it inside the bronchus. So once that is done, we need to again tie it around the jaw, and this step is important because this will also decide the alignment. So couple of loops again around the jaw and the magnet together, and it is helpful if somebody holds the magnet so that you can ensure that it is straight while you are taking this knot. So this is one knot, and after rotating, so the magnet has been applied to the inner side of the jaw, and the first knot we took was on inner side, but we'll take multiple knots on the outer side. The reason being, we don't want knot to come into our field, so we are happy that the knot is there on the outer surface of the jaw. So again we take couple of more loops around the assembly and tie it with a suture. The first time we did it for the case, we also put some rubber around it, which can be in the form of a cut part of the glove, which was tied around this assembly. We also used sometimes once we tried with the Foley's by cutting a piece of 12 or 14 French Foley's and then mounting it on this assembly, but we noticed that it was taking some of the vision, and this assembly with suture itself was much secure. As you can see, we are able to lift scissors easily with this, so a foreign body like a screw or nail should come out easily. Thank you for watching this video. I love to have some comments from your side.